Indications that a married lady is suppressing her feelings for you, the lady's cues. Have you ever felt like someone was giving you subtle hints that you missed but didn't understand? Now picture that person being a married woman. Interesting, isn't it? Welcome to today's video, where we're delving into a topic that is both fascinating and complicated. Telltale signals that a married lady likes you but is keeping it a secret. Before we proceed, let's address some common misconceptions. We'll break down the psychology in this video as we examine the subtle signs married women may give when they're interested in someone outside of their relationship. This isn't about pushing you to disregard commitments or cross boundaries. Rather, it's about understanding human behavior and spotting the clues people might unconsciously give. Trust me, once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing the world and relationships in a whole new way. Stay still, since these insights may alter your perspective on how people interact with one another. They also assist you in discerning between genuine friendship and something more deliberate. Let's begin by discussing the background. Why would a presumably committed married woman become attracted to or develop feelings for someone else? Marriages are no exception to the rule that relationships are complicated. Even though each circumstance is different, there are a few underlying psychological variables that may contribute to this. Let's start by talking about emotional and psychological demands. It's important to realize that this isn't always about physical attraction. Sometimes it's the little things, like someone remembering a small detail about her, noticing her new hairstyle, or giving her a compliment that feels genuine. These moments can stand out, especially if they're rare in her current relationship. In some cases, a woman may feel emotionally unfulfilled in her marriage because she may not be getting the attention, validation, or connection she craves from her partner. This doesn't necessarily mean she's unhappy in her marriage, though. It could be as simple as feeling undervalued or overlooked in certain moments when someone else fills the gap, even unintentionally. The distinction between purposeful and innocent. There can be very thin behavior. Married ladies, like everyone else, are capable of being gregarious and captivating without any ulterior intentions. It's crucial to distinguish between natural kindness and signals that suggest deeper interest. For instance, is she being friendly to everyone in the room, or is her energy specifically focused on you? These are questions worth asking yourself, and we'll delve into these subtle signals later in the video. Remember, the goal isn't to jump to conclusions or act on every perceived cue. It's to be aware of what's happening around you. Stay tuned, because in the next segment, we'll uncover the specific behaviors and body language cues that might reveal her hidden interest. You don't want to miss this. Have you ever felt like someone's body language or the way they talk to you is sending a message that doesn't quite match the surface conversation? Well, when it comes to subtle signals from a married woman, the clues are often there, but they're wrapped in layers of discretion. Today, we're diving into the body language and communication patterns that might indicate a married woman likes you but is trying to keep it hidden. Let's begin by examining the body language cues. As they say, actions carry more weight than words, and this is particularly evident in non-verbal communication. Frequent, lingering eye contact is one of the most telling indications. If she's staring at you from across the room or keeping your gaze for an extended period of time, it's not a coincidence. One of the earliest and most universal signs of attraction is eye contact. When it lasts, it's frequently a means of connecting without exchanging words. But here's the catch. If she feels caught, she's likely to swiftly turn away. It's the back-and-forth glance that reveals her identity. Observe her behavior when you're nearby. Observe her behavior when you're close by. Does she smooth her clothing, adjust her hair, or even just softly touch her neck? These actions may appear inconsequential, but they have deep roots in the study of psychology. Grooming is frequently a subconscious reaction when someone wants to show off their best self to someone they find attractive. It's her way of saying, "Notice me," without ever saying a word. Additionally, posture can convey a lot about a person. If she leans in during a conversation, angles her body toward you, or keeps her arms open and relaxed, it indicates that she is at ease and involved. Conversely, if her posture drastically changes when other people enter the room, it shows that she is uncomfortable and involved. She may be attempting to control her emotions if she is crossing her arms, backing away, or averting her gaze. Body language often plays a game of contrasts, so it's important to monitor any changes. However, there are other methods to uncover hidden emotions besides body language. Let's discuss her communication styles. For starters, a married woman's communication style frequently becomes more intimate and personal when she shows interest in you. She might be talking more extensively than is necessary. Perhaps you asked a straightforward inquiry, and she responded with a lengthy account of her life, ideas, or even hardships. When she goes out of her way to share or carry on conversations, it's an indication that she appreciates your time and enjoys your company. This is about connection, not simply small talk. The small details she remembers about you provide another clue. For example, did you mention your favorite coffee a few weeks ago, and now she's bringing it up casually? Perhaps she is aware of your schedule, or she recalls something trivial that you even forgot to mention. This is intentional. When someone shows interest in you, they may pay more attention than you expect. It shows she cares about the little things you care about. Furthermore, most people tend to offer compliments as a gesture of appreciation, polite or friendly, but when they go beyond the surface, they carry a different meaning. For example, a compliment like, "You're so funny," or "You're really smart," may sound innocent, but when combined with the right tone or context, it can reveal much more, especially if she's praising aspects of your personality, ideas, or effort that go beyond the obvious. This is a sign that she sees something special in you. What distinguishes these communication patterns isn't just what she says, but also how she says it. There's frequently an underlying tone of interest, warmth, and engagement that's difficult to fake if her words make you feel seen or valued in a way that feels different from casual friendliness. Keep in mind that there may be more to this than first appears. What is the lesson here? Although the indications are often subtle in her body language and communication style, they are still present. If you know where to look, we'll investigate further methods to decipher the signal she's delivering as we proceed. Stay tuned. Let's discuss one of the most obvious signs of hidden interest, the effort she makes to be with you. If a married lady likes you but is trying to hide it, her behavior may reveal her true feelings. One of the most obvious indicators is when she begins to find ways to be near you, such as by conveniently walking past your desk several times a day, or attending a meeting she wouldn't normally attend, or by participating in a group activity you're involved in. These coincidences are frequently not coincidental. Rather, they are subtle ways for her to establish proximity even when she doesn't make direct contact. Another sign is a sudden interest in your pastimes or pursuits. For instance, if you have a passion for hiking, she might come to you seeking guidance on the best routes. If you notice these patterns, they may be more than just friendly gestures. They may be her way of staying close while trying to keep her feelings under control. However, this is where things get more complicated. Trails or joining a hiking group that she has never mentioned before, or perhaps you are passionate about a particular book or show, and she suddenly starts reading it or bringing it up in conversation. This newfound interest isn't just curiosity. It's a way to create common ground and build a connection without making it obvious. For instance, if you're in a group setting, she might shy away from direct interaction with you. This isn't because she's uninterested. Rather, It's frequently a conscious attempt to deflect attention. She doesn't want others to notice her feelings, so she keeps her distance to avoid raising any suspicions. Let's examine the hesitations and contradictions you might notice in her behavior. Ironically, her avoidance can be just as telling as her moments of engagement. In addition, she has a tendency to quickly withdraw from conversations if others join in. For example, when you're speaking to someone one-on-one and the dynamic feels natural and engaging, she becomes noticeably distant or abruptly ends the conversation the moment someone else approaches. This sudden change isn't arbitrary. Instead, it likely signifies her concern about the interpretation of her actions. Retreat is a strategy to shield herself from criticism and keep her feelings safe. Under wraps, what distinguishes these hesitations is the contrast they produce. In private or when you're alone, she may be friendly, gregarious and open. But in public, her abrupt change in demeanor reveals ATT tension that she's finding difficult to manage. It's as though she's walking a tightrope between wanting to connect and needing to maintain appearances. Anxiety and overcompensation often accompany these subtle signs. For instance, she may overcorrect by acting too formal around you in public, or she may focus on other people in the group to divert attention. In any case, her behavior is more about navigating a delicate balance than it is about displaying disinterest. In the upcoming section, we will delve deeper into the various mixed signals she is exhibiting, reasons for them, but for now, remember that people often hide their emotions by not saying things, cutting conversations, avoiding situations, and creating environments accordingly. Identifying these gaps can reveal more than just words. Keep checking back. If a married woman harbors feelings for you, despite her determination to conceal it, you might observe her exhibiting friendliness and openness one day, only to abruptly withdraw, laughing at your jokes and initiating conversations the following day, and then barely acknowledging your presence. She often experiences these fluctuations as a result of an internal conflict between her attraction to you and her reluctance to act consistently due to guilt or fear of detection. Have you ever experienced a sudden shift in someone's behavior towards you? That's known as mixed signals. The key takeaway is that her inconsistency isn't random. Rather, it's her way of protecting herself while still navigating the connection she feels with you. Additionally, she may avoid giving explicit confirmation even when the signs are all there, as evidenced by her lingering glances and engaging conversations. If it's just the two of you, she may be warm and relaxed, but the moment someone else enters the picture, she becomes distant or even awkward. She may make subtle attempts to be near you, but she probably won't ever express her sentiments directly because doing so would be inappropriate. Her refusal to confirm doesn't imply that her actions were inadvertent. Rather, it just draws attention to her internal conflict, which she may try to cover up, deny, or laugh off if you bring it up. Her intention is to keep things vague enough to avoid responsibility while still keeping the relationship intact. What should you do in this circumstance? Here are some tips for handling it with honor and dignity. Let's start by discussing respecting limits. No matter how strong the indications are, it's important to keep in mind that this person is married. Her marriage is a commitment, and going over that line could have far more repercussions than either of you could have imagined. Consider the wider picture for a moment. Is seeking this connection worth the chance of hurting yourself and other people? Respect her boundaries, avoid negotiating her marriage, and consider the ethical implications. Consider whether your values are in line with this circumstance. While it's easy to become engrossed in the present, it's crucial to take a broader perspective. Sometimes the polite thing to do is leave the situation. Then consider your role in the dynamic and whether you're unintentionally encouraging her signals. Even a well-intentioned smile or casual compliment can sometimes lead to misinterpretation. Consider your actions. Are you creating a positive atmosphere, or are they making things worse? Stepping back shamefully is crucial if you feel like you've been participating. This doesn't imply being aloof or contemptuous, but rather giving the situation time to settle down and limiting one-on-one conversations. Finally, let's talk about communication and clarity. If the situation becomes uncomfortable or begins to affect your peace of mind, don't be afraid to address it, but do so tactfully. You don't have to confront her about her feelings directly. Instead, concentrate on setting boundaries for yourself, being clear about what is and isn't appropriate, and adhering to those guidelines. Saying something like, "I value our interactions, but I think it's important we keep things professional." For instance, if her attention seems improper, delivers a clear message without needlessly provoking conflict by respecting her boundaries. By evaluating your own actions and establishing clear guidelines, you can handle the circumstance with grace and integrity. Always remember that your actions affect the relationship as much as hers. Remain. We learned today that a married woman's body language, communication patterns, and attempts to be around you can reveal subtle signs of attraction. These signs can include lingering eye contact, remembering small details about your life, or coming up with excuses to spend time with you. Keep in mind that mixed signals and hesitancy in public interactions frequently indicate an internal conflict. The most crucial lesson here is awareness. Acknowledging these actions does not imply acting on them. Rather, it refers to comprehending the dynamics at work and honoring the limits of her relationship. Healthy relationships, whether platonic or romantic, are based on respect, trust, and integrity. By upholding your moral principles and cultivating deep ethical ties, you may prevent needless problems. As we come to a close, keep in mind that negotiating complicated interpersonal dynamics requires self-awareness. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into human behavior and relationships. Stay tuned for more eye-opening topics. We'll see you in the next one. Ethical behavior and respect for boundaries aren't just about protecting others. They're also about protecting yourself.